Today I'm going to try raising ocean aliens in my home. Now, while brine shrimp definitely are from Earth, they sure do look otherworldly. And the futuristic space theme in this kit from Wonderology is pretty cool too. I've always been a huge fan of sci-fi and alien conspiracies, so this product probes me in just the right way. This brine shrimp kit has been discontinued for some time now though, and the one I have with me here today is at least 7 years old, so I'm interested to see if I can still manage to get some of the old eggs in here to hatch. The Amazing Ocean Aliens kit was produced by Spin Master under their banner of Wonderology products, which are basically just various science-based children's toys. From what I can gather, this kit was released sometime around early 2015 and sold for just a few years before being completely discontinued, likely due to underperforming product reviews, with many people saying that ocean aliens hatched but then died within just a few days. Though, this is a pretty standard experience in the brine shrimp pet product niche as a whole. Now, I did try to look for this kit to buy online, but I could never find one for sale. Luckily, friend of the channel Daniela from the US saw this one listed on the auction site Mercari and kindly sent it over to me, so thank you for helping me with this, Daniela. This video wouldn't have happened without your generosity. The packaging for this product is well put together. Since Spin Master is a Canadian company, everything with this kit is written in both English and French. The front of the box has the Wonderology logo up top, and then a large photo of the tank filled with the ocean aliens in the middle. Now it looks like there are a few hundred adult brine shrimp in this tank, and this info bubble here says that this kit has everything you need to grow hundreds of aquatic aliens. This is a little concerning because I doubt the tank in here is large enough to accommodate more than 20 or 30 brine shrimp. So it gives me the impression that these people don't even have a rudimentary understanding of their own product. The side of the box gives us some more info. It says that desiccated brine shrimp eggs can remain viable for 2 years, which is true, but in my experience they can actually last much longer when kept in the right conditions. It also says that once hatched, they can live for 3 months, which is also true. Coming down, it shows a list of the kit contents, which we'll open up and take a look at in more detail now. Even though this kit is quite old, it only cost $24 on Mercari, so they haven't really grown much in value amongst collectors the same way many of the older Sea Monkey products have. Hopefully that means nobody's going to get angry at me for opening this one up. I know how some of you collectors can be. First up, we have the instruction sheet. Again, this is in both English and French. It gives an overview of the kit contents, setup instructions, and some troubleshooting tips. Next up are the aquarium accessories. It comes with a plastic feeding spoon that has different sized scoops at each end and a small 3mm pipette. I think pipettes are probably the most versatile brine shrimp tank accessory, so I'm glad to see they've included one here. Next up are the 2 packets. One has the alien eggs and the other has the alien food. Both have a warning on the sticker that says they may cause gastrointestinal disturbance, so try my best not to eat them just in case they make me shit my brains out. Lastly, we have the tank, and while I've not really mentioned it yet, this kit has taken very strong inspiration from sea monkeys and their well-known ocean zoo aquarium in several ways, almost to the point of it being a copy. The Aqua Aliens tank looks to be around 300 mils and is a flattened oval shape, which is quite nice for giving you lots of surface area to watch your pets as they swim around. The tank walls have these magnifying bubbles on one side, which I'm not a huge fan of. Brine shrimp swim quickly, so they pass these magnifiers in a fraction of a second, so really all they do is just distort the viewing experience. Fortunately, the back of the tank is just smooth plastic, so you can simply turn it around to fix the problem. One thing I do like about this aquarium is that it has a futuristic silver space theme, which ties it into the aliens marketing. The grey base has the Wonderology logo at the front, and then flares out to provide a little extra stability. There's no internal textured substrate at the bottom here, instead the floor of the tank is just flat, not quite ideal for algae growth, but it looks tidy. The tank's lid is nice and simple, basically just a cap with some air holes. Overall, this is a nice tank. Nothing too flashy, but it should get the job done. Let's get it set up. This aquarium has a water level fill line at the back, and the instructions also mention just to fill it about 1 inch from the top with bottled spring or filtered water. The second step is to empty the entire contents of the egg packet into the tank. I'm a little concerned here because I can see that there's hundreds of brine shrimp eggs in this pouch, though since the eggs are 8 years old, I'm not sure any will even hatch. So I'm going to follow the instructions and add it all in and give it a mix with the pipette to help dissolve the salt crystals. I've had mixed results in the past with trying to hatch old eggs, so hopefully some of these are still viable. I'm going to keep this tank on my windowsill for the next few weeks because the instructions recommend having them in a well lit area. I've gone ahead and made a small modification to the tank's lid that will allow me to use aquarium accessories that should hopefully help to make the ocean aliens more comfortable. Since these products are often considered kids' toys, the manufacturers don't usually take the use of heaters and air pumps into consideration, which is a shame, because the lid design only needs to be slightly adjusted to accommodate these important accessories. I'll put a purple grow light next to the Aqua Aliens tank too, just to help promote some algae growth. We're going to need all the help we can get since the plastic inside this tank is all so smooth. As always, these important tank accessories are all available to order over on picocosmos.com for anybody who wants to support the channel and to take their setup to the next level. I'll check back in with you guys soon to give you an update to see if we can spot any alien babies. Good morning guys. Today is day 5 for the Wonderology tank, and I'm pleased to report that I have good news. I started seeing the first baby ocean aliens swimming in here yesterday, and there's now over 7 or 8 of them. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I've had mixed luck with older eggs. Sometimes they hatch, but more often than not, they don't. Well, it seems we got lucky this time, because despite being around 7 or 8 years old, some of those old cysts were still hanging on. There's something I love about these old packets holding on to dormant life for all of these years, only now seeing the light of day for the very first time. These little guys sure have been patient. Now the instruction sheet which came with this kit says I can feed them today with a small measure of the food from the included grey spoon, so that's what we're going to do. Since I've never used this food before though, I think it'll be fun to check out under the microscope to see if we can get an idea of what it is. This stuff looks and smells very similar to sea monkey growth food. It has that strong matcha tea odour to it too. While I don't know exactly what it is, my guess is that it's most likely kelp powder. I haven't actually experimented with this yet, but I am planning to buy some to try it out soon. So even though the instructions mention giving them a level scoop from the small spoon, I still think this is a little excessive for the first feeding, so I'm only giving them a fraction of that. My general approach with food is to give them very small amounts frequently, rather than full scoops less often. This lets me keep a closer eye on the tank's water quality, and significantly reduces the risk of overfeeding. Alright, so that's all for today. I don't suspect I'll need another update until this aquarium has reached full maturity in another month or 2 from now, unless something unexpected comes up. I'll check back in with you then so we can see the adult ocean aliens, and so I can give you my final kit review. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a few months since I started this ocean aliens kit, so finishing off this video is now well overdue. I've been quite busy with other video projects, so this one's kinda just been on the back burner. I'm sure you've already noticed that things look a little different in here to usual. The water in the Aqua Aliens tank started turning green a few weeks back, and the colour gradually went darker until it settled around here. I've never actually had this happen to any of my tanks before, and to be honest, it's a bit of a mystery to me. Brine shrimp are non-selective filter feeders. They're usually excellent at quickly eating free-floating algal cells, which should make water like this crystal clear in a matter of hours. Somehow this algae is growing faster than the ocean aliens can consume it, which could make sense if the tank was really warm and receiving a lot of sunlight, but this tank hasn't. In fact, we've had pretty crappy weather here recently, so this one's kinda got me stumped. I turned to the only place I knew for answers, my trusty microscope. This showed me pretty much what I expected to see, a high concentration of algae, but I was really surprised at what I saw next. I had to use a higher magnification than I expected, because each algal cell was so unbelievably tiny. Now I apologize for the image quality here, but to actually see this stuff, I had to push my microscope to the absolute limit of its capabilities. This is at 1500 times magnification, more zoom than I've ever shown on the channel. At this level we can observe something I've never seen before called Brownian motion, the random movement of tiny particles suspended in a fluid. This makes the algae appear to jiggle around, which is quite funny, but also amazing to see. Now because it's so small, I can't quite determine the species of the algae, but given its size, I'd guess it's most likely Nanochloropsis oculata or chlorella. Regardless, the colony itself is doing great. There's a decent amount of ocean aliens in the tank, with a few mating pairs, and the subsequent generations seem to have been growing well too. Since live algae is the perfect food for these guys, I obviously haven't needed to feed them for weeks, so it's a self-sustaining little ecosystem. I was planning to mention how much I like the shape of this tank because it allowed you to see your pets really well, so it's a little ironic that I can barely see anything in there at all. I could do a water change to clear things up, but I have a feeling the algae would just proliferate really quickly and it'd just look like this again in a couple of days. Plus, my general rule with brine shrimp is that if things are going well, it's probably just best to leave them be. Perhaps that's a good mantra for life in general. So overall, I have really liked this kit, but since it's no longer available and basically just a Sea Monkeys knockoff, you'd be better off with an Ocean Volcano kit instead. Oh yeah, and it turns out those ocean aliens, they're actually just brine shrimp. Who would have thought?